Hey everybody. So I've got a knife unboxing and review for you today. I was kind of excited about this one when I saw it on House of Knives when I ordered it. This is the Evoke Alox 2024 limited edition by Victorinox, Swiss Army knife makers. Yeah, I was really excited. I like the look of this knife. When I saw the pictures of it, I thought it was just a fine looking knife. Now, I've always associated Victorinox with the Swiss Army knives or smaller knives like this one right here. This one's quite old. I got it from my grandfather. You know, little single pocket knife, 2 blades. Doesn't lock, you know, just something that you always think of as a kid carrying around in their pocket, at least back in the day. You know, like I said, got this from my grandfather, had it for forever. So that's what I associate Victorinox with, the Swiss Army knife, and knives of this character. Swiss Army knives are really cool too. I used to have one of those. Somewhere through the annals of time, it disappeared. It made its way away from me. I have no idea where it went. But, yeah. I've always been a fan of bigger knives myself, and when I saw that Victorinox was making bigger knives, which I'm sure they've been doing for a while, if you know how long they've been doing it, let us know in the comments. I was interested in it. I like history. I like historical brands, and when it comes to knives, there's not much more historical than Swiss Army knives. You know, they've been around forever, and you know, I just really like dealing with historical brands. And so I saw this and I ordered it before I did any research on it. I've done a little research now for this video, and information on this knife is actually quite hard to find, especially from the Victorinox site, which leads me to believe it may not be quite as nice as I was hoping. I'm sure the knife itself will be great. I just, from what my research is telling me, it might be a little bit pricier than the quality of the knife that you're getting. Let me run through some of the specs for you. What makes it a limited edition over their regular Evoke Alox is the color. It's a Terra brown color, and it looks like it's got 2024 printed on the back. So it's their 2024 limited edition, and that's what makes it a limited edition over their other knives. It's just color and 2024 printed on it. Now, over and above that, the knives themselves, the Evoke Alox, they have aluminum scales. A scale is the actual handle of the knife. They call those scales in the knife world. It has a 3.875 inch blade made out of, and now I had some issues finding this, and I only found it from one site of somebody who is selling the knives. It doesn't actually say on the Victorinox site, at least not that I can see, the actual type of steel that's in the blade, so I'm relying on somebody who's selling them. But what they said it was 4116 stainless steel, which is a cheaper steel. And it's got pretty good corrosion protection, and it prioritizes ease of sharpening over edge retention. Now that's one of the things that bothers me, because this was not a cheap knife. This was $172 Canadian at House of Knives and $130 US at Knife Center if you want to buy it in America. I will put links to both of those in the comment section below, or in the description of the video below. So it seems, and from what I've seen on a lot of the message boards, they talk about how this steel is not something that should be in a knife at this price. Which, you know, I'm sure the knife is going to be nice. However, it may be, like I said, a little bit overpriced for what you're actually getting. I believe the non-limited edition ones are $20 less. I believe they're $152 Canadian. I bought mine in Canadian, of course, because I live in Canada. However, I'm still interested in this knife, and I'm still excited about it. maybe you need to pay a little bit of a premium for the history if that's something that you want. Quite often that's how things like this work. You buy something from a storied company, they are charging you a little bit for the name. So that being said, that is what it is. I'm sure this will be a beautiful knife and something that I will be happy to put on my in my knife collection. So without further ado, let's get to opening this thing. I will be putting up some pictures of this, and so that everybody can see what it looks like throughout. And I'll just open it up here, and I will also bring it up to the camera. It's got this little sleeve that comes off. It says Alox 2024 limited edition. Okay. Let's see, a little congratulations card from Victorinox for purchasing the 2024 limited edition Alox. I'll put a picture up if you want to look at that. Let's see, a user's guide in a bunch of different languages. Basically how to put the thumb stud on, how to take the clip off, a few other things. I'll put up some pictures of this as well so you can read it over if you'd like. Now we get to the knife. She is a beauty. And she's about the size I was hoping it would be. A little tight. Not too bad though. Just needs to be worked in a little bit. Oh yeah. Just needs to be worked a little bit. Get its legs. It's got a good feel to it. It's actually got a very good feel to it. In the hands, it feels comfortable. I'll take my ring off so I don't scratch it. It feels quite comfortable in the hands. It's got a good weight to it, a good heft. I like knives that are a good size, that have a little bit of heft to them. You can see it does have the 2024 engraved on the back. The color looks nice. The knife itself looks high quality. It's got a good feel to it. When you flick it open, it's solid. Let's see. There's also the lanyard that comes with it. Let's see, so put that through like that. I kind of like this. So you've got a lanyard, basically some ripcord coming off the bottom. It's an interesting addition. It looks pretty good. I don't know if I would use that if I was carrying it in my pocket. If I would leave it on there, but as this one's going to be just for display, I am gonna leave it on there. It'll look good. The knife feels good. It's a little tight to start off, but once you imagine she just needs to be worked in a little bit. Knives are really like adult fidget spinners. At least I find that myself. There's something very satisfying about one hand opening a knife, flicking it open. I love the way that feels, as I don't do it very well. But no, she is it's a nice knife. I like the way it feels. I like the way the scales feel. I'm not usually a big fan of aluminum scales. I find they tend to feel cheap, but they've got some knurling on them and they feel like they've got good grip. And that's something that's usually missing with aluminum scales. I like to have something that's a little more grippy. But these actually feel really good. I enjoy the color. I like the, I definitely like the knife. Let me just bring it over to the camera there, and we'll see what we can see. There we go. So there it is. You can see that's the lanyard right there, coming off the back. You can see that the knurling is actually really good on it. It gives quite a bit of grip. I love the Victorinox symbol just emblazoned in like that. And there you can see the $2024, however it's upside down, sorry. There you go, you can see 2024 put in there. So basically all that makes this a limited edition is the color and that engraving of the 2024. You can buy this knife $20 cheaper in another color without the engraving. And to tell you the honest truth, let's take a look at the blade. I mean, it seems like a quality knife. Now the fact that they're using that cheaper steel doesn't mean that the knife isn't going to be good. It's still a good steel. It's just not usually a steel that you see at this price point. Usually you see something a little bit more high-end at this price point. However, it's what they decided to go with. In the bead blast finish that it's got, it actually looks very nice. This is a very handsome knife. This knife feels very good in your hand. It's got a good feel to it. The grip is perfect. Like, I really feel this feels comfortable in there. You can see right there, it's got some knurling there for your knife so that if you have to press, it's going to keep your thumb from sliding off of there. So that's always nice to see. There you go. So yeah, the locking mechanism, you can see it's a back lock. You press the back. It's like the old buck knives, right? This type of lock is generally very solid. You hardly ever see these fail. You pretty much never see these fail. All right, let me get back. All right, so at the end of the day, I'm happy I got this knife. I'm going to enjoy this knife. This is going to be nice in my collection. That being said, I think that's who this knife is made for, is collectors. This knife does feel like something I would carry with me. It does feel like it's quality. It feels good in your hand. It's pleasurable to open. It's solid. It's a well-made knife. Victorinox is not a second-rate company. These things are solid. These things are solid and well-made. You do pay a premium for the limited edition version of this knife. Like I said, an extra $20 for not much extra in the way of interesting things besides a color and the year printed on it. If I was going to buy one of these to use, I would not buy the limited edition. The limited edition is beautiful, but there are some other very nice colors available. And that extra $20, is it worth it for the extra color? For them throwing a different paint color in the system and engraving the year on there? No, I don't think so. Is the knife worth $152? I believe that I would buy this knife to use at $152. So the regular version, which is exactly the same knife, just a different color, at $152, I would recommend. I would only recommend this limited edition if you're a collector and you want this in your collection. It is a beautiful knife. I love it. I actually love it. I don't believe, like I said, that I would buy the limited edition again. I already have though, and I'm happy with it for that reason. If you're a collector and you want this in your collection, that's understandable. It's the only way to get this color. It is a collectible. Once they're sold out, there's no more of them available. So if you do want this color, you have to act on it. If you just want a good knife at that range, and that's $152. That's a good range for a good everyday carry knife. And this is solid, and I love a solid feeling knife. I find a lot of the everyday carry knives that you see out there nowadays are very light. There's a lot of carbon fiber, super light materials, small. And you know, I understand that all those things add cost, and all those things add feel and lightness, but I don't want a knife to be light in my hand. I want to feel it. To give you guys an idea, my regular everyday carry knife is this guy right here. It's basically a solid steel knife. I'll do a review on this one. It's the Kershaw Cryo 2. I will end up doing a review on this knife. I'm going to do a review on all the knives in my collection. So I'll save that for another day, but this is the one that I generally carry with me. And the reason I carry this with me actually is not actually because it's a great knife. It's because it feels good in my hand. And you know what? I'm going to tell you the honest truth. This Victorinox feels better. It feels better in my hand than the knife that I do everyday carry, the Kershaw Cryo 2. But the reason that I everyday carry this knife is because this thing is solid as hell. It is a tank. You cannot destroy this thing. It's got a denim finish on the blade. You can't tell when it's been scratched up and beat up. It's tough. This thing is tough, and it doesn't show wear, and it's $80. When I carry a knife in my pocket that I'm actually going to use to cut things, I don't want to use a crazy expensive knife. I don't like wrecking nice things. This has assisted opening too. It's very satisfying to open. So you just give her a little flick. It's very satisfying to use, very satisfying to open. And just a tank, like I said. Just a tank though, at a very reasonable price. I don't care if this, I think it's, was it D2 steel? I'd have to double check that. But anyways, there's nothing expensive in this knife. But it's a good quality. Lower end, but good quality and built like a tank. To me, this is the perfect knife to carry because you don't care if you mess it up. If I mess up a $172 knife that's a limited edition, I care. There's no getting that back. Even if I mess up I've got a couple knives worth upwards of $300 or $400. I don't want to wreck those. I spent a lot of money on those. So I take this one. I don't use cheap knives. I don't like carrying cheap knives with me because they fail on you. The steel breaks, doesn't hold an edge. It's horrible. Cheap knives are horrible. If you can stay away from them, please do. But at the $80 mark, something like this, I'm not going to feel bad if I wreck this. I'll buy another one. They make millions of these things because there's a million people buying them. So I'll put this thing away. At the end of the day, do I recommend this knife? The regular version, wholeheartedly, if you're looking to spend about $150 on a good everyday carry knife that has a good story behind it and a lot of history. I mean, you carry around a Victorinox. Like, everybody knows what the Swiss Army knife is. There's history in your pocket right there, and that's worth something. Let's be absolutely clear, that is worth something. I'm a big fan of history, and carrying some of it in my pocket is... there's something about that really, really appeals to me. That being said, would I carry this limited edition? No. This is going up on a shelf. That's what that's designed for. Would I buy the $152 one, the regular edition, and carry it with me? Yes. Yeah. If I was okay with carrying a knife that expensive and the fact that I might wreck it, I would carry that with me. That would be... This knife feels solid. It feels good. It feels like a worker. It really does. At 150, I might even end up getting another one of these in a not limited edition and carrying it for a while, just because I actually really like this knife. So we'll see. We'll look down the road, and if maybe one day down the road I'll get a non-limited edition and pick that up and carry it around with me for a bit. I recommend it for that. The limited edition, if you're a collector, regular edition, $20 less, same knife. Pick that one up. I believe that one's, I'm probably going to end up picking one up because I do love the idea of carrying the history in my pocket. That might become my new everyday carry knife, but not this one. This one goes on a shelf. I hope that's helped you guys. I know it's knife reviews can be very difficult, and there's so much taste involved. I mean, you've got a lot of different styles of knives, and a lot of people like a lot of different styles. Like I said, a lot of people like those super light, smaller everyday carry. I like a big knife with some heft. This feels absolutely perfect in my hand. I won't lie. It feels amazing. So this is basically exactly the kind of knife that I love. So I recommend this knife in the regular version, and the collectible version, the limited edition, if you're a collector. I'm just gonna let it go right there. I hope that's helped out. If you're interested in these knives and you want to pick one up, I don't think you'd be doing a bad thing. If you're getting the regular version, I totally support your decision. So I hope that's helped you out. I hope you've gotten something interesting out of it, and it's helped you out a little bit. Like I said, I will take a bunch of pictures of this knife and throw it up in here too. You've probably already seen them. I've probably already shown them up, thrown them up. But if not, then they'll be somewhere in here. Yeah. At the end of the day, the thing that I like about knives is you've got the capacity for protection and the capacity for utility. I believe that a man should carry a knife. It allows you so many abilities and utility that you do not have without a knife. A knife is a tool, and I believe that a man should carry that tool. So why not get out there and get a knife? Maybe watch some more of my knife videos. I'm gonna start up I'll probably start up a group of them so that you can just go through and watch all my knife reviews. And yeah, I hope you're all out there building the best life you possibly can. Hope you're all lifting each other up. I hope you're all writing your own story and being the hero of that story. If you want to help the channel out, please like and share and comment on this video and pass it around and let everybody know. Maybe send it to your mom. She might like knives too. Anything you can do to help the channel out that way, help out with the algorithm to get us building, we would greatly appreciate that. If you'd like to help financially and you want to go over to Patreon and become a patron, then please feel free to do that. If you don't have the money to do that, then please don't. I don't ever want to take money from somebody who cannot afford it. I do not want to take something that you cannot afford to give. So please, if you need the money, do not give it to me. If you do have it available and you think that what I'm doing is worth something and you'd like to help it along and help me help other men be strong and build a better society, then feel free to go over to Patreon and become a patron and help us build bigger and stronger and better. So that's about it for this. Hope you guys enjoyed the knife review. I'm going to try to get in some more of these. Like I said, I'm going to review I'm going to do my whole knife collection that I have already and do reviews on all of those. Won't be unboxings obviously. But yeah, we'll get the reviews in there and let everybody know what I think of all of them. All right. I love you guys. Help each other up. Pull each other up. We're not meant to climb over each other. We're meant to be role models and help each other along. So let's do that. All right. Love you guys.